Well folks, strap yourselves in. Not literally, unless you want to. I'm not here to judge. This is a big one. Details on the biggest update yet. The first development diary of 2025 has arrived for Prehistoric Kingdom, and it's a doozy. Before we dig into the nitty-gritty bitty, the Prehistoric Kingdom team have set up a Patreon to help with the dev costs. You know, paying people to work, as it happened. We all know that even just the free updates we've received for this game have been pretty crazy, and there's still a lot of big ones to come, as we're going to see very soon in this video. If you've already bought the game and are able to support them even further, you'll be helping to support the development of these upcoming updates and get some cool bonus perks for doing so, like behind the scenes views. But times are tough for everybody right now, so don't feel guilty if you can't. Just keep it in mind for down the line. You can support them at the link on your screen or in the description of this video. Anywho, on to the updates. The big news is that in the next update, and that is the next update, the ontogeny system is being added to the game. Baby dinosaurs and other baby animals are coming to Prehistoric Kingdom very soon. So not only will you have adorable bounding baby Rexes like this little fella, but you'll be able to see them grow gradually over time. Take this terrifying but cute baby mammoth, for example. Stoned out of its tiny mind, lacking those telltale tusks and their little crop of hair only just coming in. This little guy is going to grow and grow and grow, but it won't happen instantly or when you're off looking at your guests funneling hamburgers from the void. Instead, it'll happen gradually and naturally, with the skin and morphology and even the animations of the animal shifting over time. It's just perfect, and it's going to be a big boost for the realism and cuteness of our parks. Now, before breeding is added in a future update that's kind of towards the end of early access, for now you're going to choose the age of your animals when you place them in your park. I mentioned animations earlier because they also shift with this ontogeny system. There's subtle changes in the locomotion here to make the juveniles and the babies a little bit bouncier, a little wobblier, a little less sure on their feet, as they probably should be. And also look at the cave, little cave, big paws. I've got a typo in my script here, I wrote bipaws, I don't know what bipaws are. Big paws, round faces, playful animations, and fully spotted. These baby cave lions are absolutely heartbreaking to look at. And it's interesting to note that the dev diary also mentions that ontogeny is being implemented first, so that some upcoming features can more easily take it into account. Social stuff makes a lot of sense. A baby and an adult would interact differently than two babies or two adults. Or at least I hope they would. But combat is an interesting one mentioned. Will adults hunt babies for easy meals? Would that see babies be defended by their parent animals? Will there be flight responses from juveniles that gradually shift into fight over time with age and teethiness? We'll have to wait and see. Regardless of anything, as you can see, the gradual shift in this ontogeny system means that our herds suddenly become so varied, immensely varied. And when you factor in breeding and death from old age down the line, we're going to have these beautiful, that was very northern, beautiful mate, these beautiful, ever-shifting groups of animals. Now, whilst the bibbers are the highlight feature of Update 14, for good reason, one of my favourite and oft most requested features is also making it into the game. First person mode, baby! Such a good mode for immersion and for truly understanding the scale of these prehistoric species. The devs have even mentioned plans for bonus immersion features down the line, letting us use binoculars placed in the park, etc. But maybe also, kind of akin to Zoo Tycoon 3, I know it wasn't called that technically, being able to refill feeders and cleaning out the habitats and stuff like that. Now, I kind of live for that stuff, so my fingers are firmly crossed for this feature. It's very uncomfortable, please help me. So that's the new news on Update 14, ontogeny and first person mode, both coming to the game very soon. But what's coming down the line? What do we have to look forward to? There's a lot here, folks. Sociality and herding is a big change coming in the future. Behaviours like friendly communication, scaring off animals, running away from threats, playfully chasing each other or challenging each other to battles for supremacy. Now, these behaviours are all going to be dependent on the species and genera that we're looking at. You're unlikely to see, say, Dinosaurs beating each other up to claim dominance of the herd. So not only will this be quite cool to watch, but it'll be yet more variety and individualization for our species. Now, further to that, mixed herds will also come in and allow smaller animals like that aforementioned Dinosaurs to hang around with those larger animals for protection. Each group would still be individual and have its own behaviours and do its own thing, but the small herd tags along with the big herd in a my dad could beat up your dad kind of gambit. But what if they think their dad could beat up your dad? Oh no, that means it's time for combat. We can see a threat display here between two Tyrannosaurus Rexes, one snapping and growling as the other backs away. Now this is planned to be a dynamic system, meaning no canned attack animations playing out. Instead, animals will pull a appropriate animation from their available library, and the animal on the other end of it will also react with an appropriate animation. Now this means they can move and attack and react at the same time, and that every fight should in theory play out differently from every other fight, with the group of animals having their own stable of animations to pull from. Now keep in mind this is all very much early in development, and combat is probably going to be quite a late addition to early access, and it may change dramatically before release, but we can see a little bit here how those various animations may play out on a moving Rex as it shifts from a threaten pose to a roar to a bite to a lunge and back again, all while still on the move. I can't really imagine what a nightmare it is putting together a system like this so it crosses all the animals, so we'll just have to be patient and see what magic they can come up with by the end. And you know what else is magic? Plants. Plants are magic. Well, not those plants. These plants. This is a preview of the future paleobotany system, with all 8 biomes in the game eventually offering their own paleo-accurate, unique plants. Some of them brought to life in 3D for the very first time, which is very cool. The plan is currently for 30 or so species of prehistoric flora, and the ones on your screen now are the ones for the coastal biome at the moment. Now, of course, you can't have paleobotany without ginkgos. I hate that word from the bottom of my heart. Gink, go. Gink, go. Gink, go. And we'll have both a coastal and temperate version of the famous tree, not saying it again, in Prehistoric Kingdom, with each having their own growth pattern and style to differentiate from the other. Now, of course, the purpose of this isn't just to look cool, which they do, but to enrich the habitats of your dinosaurs and other animals. Now, enrichment is something they'll be talking about more down the line. We're going to see actual enrichment items that your animals can interact with, but Paleo Plants will boost that enrichment as well and also increase that animal rating. It's kind of like JPOG all over again. And if all this wasn't cool enough, and it's already pretty cool, it just gets better. Terrariums are coming to Prehistoric Kingdom. These are going to replace the existing mini exhibits with 3 new configurations. Amphibious ones with a shallow pool, terrestrial ones with burrows and elevated terrain, and arboreal ones which would contain our current 2 species and would resemble the current existing mini exhibits. Coming in a small or large variant, these terrariums will be customized with enrichment, substrates and climate settings, and you'll have to provide food and clean them and all this jazz as well. And of course you can decorate them yourselves with foliage and some dedicated terrarium prefabs. Even better, they'll come with a null version like the current mini exhibits do to be able to combine multiple terrariums into single larger habitats. We even have a preview of some of those upcoming creatures. Compsognathus would be a new terrarium animal, new terrestrial animal, given its tiny stature, seen here beautifully fully feathered. Reminder, these animals don't really play out looped, canned animations as you may have seen in some other games, so it could absolutely look like a standard Compsognathus habitat if you built it correctly. Tiktaalik, very excitingly, is our first mentioned amphibious creature, slinking its fishy body from water to land and back again. And finally, our next arboreal addition, Yiki, shown here with some sexual dimorphism in play. Honestly, this might be the feature I am most excited about, even more than the Bebas, because it so hugely expands the roster of potential animals. You know, maybe we could now even get arthropods like Arthropleura in the game. It does have a statue thing, you know, we could see something like that. We could see snakes, we could see arthropods, we could see anything. And finally, many moons later, the final discussed addition for today is flat rides. Researchable modules that massively boost your park's attraction points. The 3 mainly up for consideration right now are these 3. A Ferris wheel, a theatre, and a hot air balloon so we can live out our JPOG dreams once again. They are also open to new suggestions as well, so definitely pop on the Prehistoric Kingdom Discord and let them know what you're thinking. For example, for me, I think having animal talks with a select few smaller species would be a great way to integrate yet more zoo-y sort of things into the game and offer some bonus educational value. Who doesn't want to see this man with fabulous hair and do a demonstration with a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Anyway, whilst most of what we've talked about today is off in the far-flung future, it's safe to say that the future of this game is looking absolutely incredible. If you haven't already got your copy, make sure you go and pick it up on Steam, and a reminder to support them on Patreon too, if you are safely able to do so, and you want to help see all of this and more come to life. Let me know which of these features you are most looking forward to, and throw me a like down below if you enjoyed the video. Yada yada yada, and also subscribe for more, dinosaurs. Thanks for joining me, cheers, much love as always, bye bye.